her ample boobs threatening to overcome the extremely low neckline of her shirt. "Why don't you just go over and do that in front of him a couple of times? I'm sure he'd give you anything you want." "That'll come later," Tori says, ruffling her blonde bangs and waggling her eyebrows. I roll my eyes as we start off across the fairgrounds. As we near the farm truck where the shirtless guy is unloading crates, I ask Tori again, "Now, who did you say he is?" "Jake Theopolis." "Theopolis? As in the peach orchard Theopolises?" "Yep, that's his family." "Why don't I remember him?" "Because your hormones slept through your freshman year. He was a senior. Jenna Theopolis' older brother. Played baseball, dated pretty much all the hot girls. Except for you," I add before she can. She grins and elbows me in the ribs. "Except for me." "And you're sure he won't try to get us into trouble?" "I'm positive. He was a bad boy. I'm sure there's nothing we could think of that he hasn't done 10 times over." We stop a few feet behind him, and I hear Tori whisper, "Good God, look at him." So I do. I can see why Tori would find him appealing. His tanned skin is glistening in the hot Carolina sun. The well-defined muscles in his chest and shoulders ripple as he picks up a crate from the back of the truck, and his washboard abs contract as he swivels to set it on the ground. His worn blue jeans hang low on his narrow hips, giving us an almost indecent look at the way the thin trail of hair that leads away from his navel disappears into the waistband. But then Tori's words come back to me, and I'm immediately turned off. She said he's a bad boy. And I'm not interested in bad boys. They don't figure into my plans. At all. In any way. That's why I don't have to worry about being attracted to him. Even though he's hot as blazes. Tori clears her throat as we move closer. "Hi, Jake." Jake's dark head turns toward us as he pauses in his work to wipe his brow. He looks first at Tori. "Hi," he replies around the toothpick stuck in one corner of his mouth. His voice is low and hoarse. His smile is polite, and I think to myself that he's handsome enough, but nothing to warrant Tori's insistence on talking to him. But then he looks over at me. Even with him squinting in the bright sun, his eyes steal my breath. Set in his tan face and framed by his black hair and black lashes, they're striking. The amber color is like honey. Honey I feel all the way down in my stomach, warm and gooey. "Hi," he says again, one side of his mouth curling up into a cocky grin. For some reason, I can't think of one single thing to say, not even a casual greeting, one that I would give a perfect stranger. I stare at him for several long seconds until, finally, he chuckles and turns back to Tori. "What's wrong with her?" She's just shy." "Shy?" he asks, turning his attention back to me. I almost wish he hadn't. My belly is still full of hot liquid, and I'm starting to feel breathless. I don't meet shy girls very often." From the corner of my eye, I see Tori wave her hand dismissively. She'll loosen up in a minute. In fact, that's sort of why we're here." Jake glances back to Tori, releasing me from the prison of his strange eyes. I take a slow, deep breath to settle my swimming head. "Oh, I've got to hear this," he says, leaning back against the tailgate and crossing his arms over his chest. I can't help but notice how his biceps bulge with the action. Tori steps closer to him and whispers, "We were sort of hoping you'd sell us a bottle of that peach wine. You know, on the down low." He looks from Tori to me and back again before he bends to pick up one bottle. "One of these? To loosen her up?" "Yup, it's sure to do the trick." His golden eyes return to me as he slowly